Hi everybody, I'm going to record a video that I should have done a long time ago to explain my ideas and theories and perspectives on matters of neurodivergency and the schizoid. And I'm going to try to be concise. Good luck myself on doing that. In any case, nope, that's not what I was trying to do. I'm already messing up. There we go. Okay. An arrow here. An arrow here. Okay. And this little line will be our spectrum. Now on this side, we have the microsociative, or as a lot of people call it, the autist, or autistic thinking. Now, yes, I know microsociative and macrosociative are not real words, but they'll do. Here's the macrosociative. I'm using different bubbles that, or thought-speaking bubbles that kind of, I don't know, give me the right vibe. Macro. Oh, shit's out. Good enough. I don't know why I can't move. Maybe I can move this. No, I can't. Oh, there. Yeah, apparently I can, but I'm incompetent. 1 second. There we go. Nope. There we go. And it's still covered. Whatever. You get the point. And in the middle, we have our normative thinker, our normative cognition, aka neurotypical, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Now, the world is constructed, culture and society-wise, by most of the information that is gathered here. And of course, there's stuff coming from here and here, but it kind of gets funneled through this sort of cognitive perspective and experience. Now, which one's the world? This is the world. Okay, that'll work. The world. And then we have ideas that kind of delve into some parts of this side and some parts of this side. Oh, there we go. But nonetheless, they seem to funnel through this kind of center area. Okay, don't worry, I'll get to the schizoid. Now, the microsociative person, the autist, they can obviously be a part of the world, but due to the way they think, the way they experience stuff, I'm trying to make this line wiggly, and I failed. That's fine. There tends to be a lot of trauma, because the type of thinking they experience comes into conflict with what is acceptable or understood, and what is confined essentially to this funnel. And oftentimes these ideas and experiences either get, they find it aversive, or they get transformed into something that makes more sense to them. Nonetheless, growing up autistic is going to come with its own set of problems and traumas because of that conflict. Same with being on the other side. Now, let's see if I can make it happen this time. Well, I'm bad at this. In any case, same situation for the schizo, or the macrosocial person. And I don't know why I created that line. There we go. Boom. Trauma, trauma, trauma. Good times. Trauma all around. Okay? For everybody. Now, of course, regular people have their own trauma, but people that are on these sides, they get that plus this extra sort of existential, I am an alien, the world is a strange and scary place type of experience. Now, because of that, you get some offshoots. Due to these events, even when integrated into the world in an acceptable way, you get a lot of problems. And those problems are things, well, it's a terrible shape, but I'll take it, like alienation, anxiety, depression, confusion, fear, and all kinds of other things that I can't fit in this box. You get the point. The experience is a not very fun one. Now, you're like, what does this have to do with the schizoid angst? Okay, I'll tell you. So, you end up with people that develop all kinds of fun stuff, right? They might have some kind of variation of being, avoidant, right? They might have some variation of being OCD, right? Not sure what shape to use, but you get what I'm saying. There's a lot of things that happen to these neurodivergent people, a lot of issues that they develop along with symptoms. Right? You'll be hard pressed to find a neurodivergent person that's cognitive neurodivergent in the way I sort of described, microsociative, an experience, meaning that's their default experience and how they interact with the world. Not that they can't do this, or that normative people can't do this or this. Everyone can do that. That's how the human brain evolved over millions of years. It developed the ability to think in this way. But when you live here, you end up with this. Unless you have an incredibly good support system and somehow you live in an environment and a village or something or a city that caters to it or accepts it, but then that has its own set of problems. I'm trying my best not to detour. That's hard for me, guys. Now, the schizoid is just another variant. I'm running out of room, so I'll just put it over here. What's a good shape? Wow, I'll use this because it's kind of funny to use this one. Now, the schizoid is just a variant of what happens. It's one that is wrought with things like disassociation, attachment, and symptoms like anhedonia and so on and so forth. I can't spell. And a disconnect from identity, self, and others. And that is sloppy looking, but I don't know if I can move it. Let's see. And good enough. This is just a result of what I described, but it is one that is specifically about sort of abandoning the inner child, because the inner child, or the sense of self in many ways, was lost in this process in order to survive said process, because of the amount of this that these experiences caused. We are just a variant of that very thing. And I believe that these other variants here, like you say, more avoidant and OCD and other types of issues that can come, are unique to the neurodivergent individual. They have and they should have their own subset of psychological understanding when it comes to things like personality disorders. But that's not how it's done. So, yes, it's a problem. In any case, schizoid is just one of those personality psychological disorders that came about due to the issues I described. I think that should sort of clear up my view on what I think is happening. And I've also noticed that a lot of people that say they're schizoid but are normative in cognition oftentimes don't have a lot of the sort of internal issues that are often described by the schizoid themselves. Oftentimes, it feels like it's more deeply connected to some of the issues or disorders that already sort of exist outside of that realm. Because yes, dissociation, detachment, anhedonia, and a disconnect from identity of self and others is something anybody could experience. But with the schizoid, it occurred due to these paths. And that is why I've seen a much, much, much higher, absurdly higher prevalence of either more macro or microsociative thinkers or autists and schizos end up over here. They can end up all over the place. In the case of the macrosociative person, it can be something that turns into something that looks like schizotypal. It might not go the schizoid route. And the autistic side, you might get, like I said, something that looks more like a fear-based paranoia or anxiety-driven OCD and things like that. And then you get this sometimes. All right. What is this? 11 minutes. Damn, I was going for 10. If you like what I said, leave a comment. If you hate what I said, leave a comment. If you want to push back on it, leave a comment. If you're on the server already and you're a schizoid, awesome. Leave a comment there. We'll talk about it. If you're not on there, but you're a schizoid, or whether you're diagnosed or, we have an application system, we have a vetting process, and it's a cool place for support and communication, safe place for zoids. I also have another server on Discord that goes by the Angsty Divergent. Sorry, Angsty Creatures. I recently changed the name, so I forgot. And I went with creatures because it's kind of, for those that are terminally online, you have the ADHD creature, you have the autism creature, and there is also a schizo creature that is lesser known, but very cute. In any case, it's a server that's basically for anybody interested in good faith conversation, non-tribalistic sort of perspectives and views, and so on. And if you like my channel, subscribe and like. And if you want to support me, I have a Patreon or PayPal. Bye.